Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, April 9th, 2019. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brains. In today's top story, we have infrared images coming to us from Jupiter in all their spacey, technicolor delight. These particular images are actually showing us how the solar wind and the magnetosphere of Jupiter are able to interact, and how it is that magnetosphere leads to the heating of the polar regions of Jupiter when a massive blast of solar radiation comes in. Now, while this one particular image that I'm showing right here is particularly beautiful and something I may want to replicate in a painting, it doesn't give us the full picture of what's going on. Rather, for that, we need to turn to, I'm getting some complaints that Twitch is doing something weird. I'm going to end this and come back after kicking the back end, and I'll restart from the beginning. Here are dogs. Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, April 9th, 2019. I'm your host for today. I am Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brains. Today, we have some amazing Technicolor science stories to bring you, and it all starts with a tale of Jupiter. Now, in this Technicolor image of the giant planet of our solar system, we see some amazing false color dynamics. What we're seeing here is images that were taken in the infrared that highlight temperature variations across Jupiter. That bright yellow, well, that's the hottest spot of all. Red is hot as well. Now, while we're used to here on Earth equatorial regions of warmth, go to the equator, it's warmer than if you go to the poles. That hot polar region is a bit unusual. And what's going on here is the sun's, well, flinging particles at Jupiter, and as those particles interact with Jupiter's magnetic field, they get driven to the polar regions, which then heat up. Now, while this particular image is kind of an amazing, colorific image that I may want to paint later, it really doesn't capture the full picture of what's going on. To get to that, we need to step back and take a look instead at this time series of images. What we see here are images that were taken back in 2017, spanning a series of days. And what we're seeing is Jupiter going from being fairly quiet, nothing much going on when it comes to its interactions with the sun, to then, late on January 12th, a solar outburst, the kinds of material that lead to the Earth's aurora. Well, those same kinds of materials were hitting Jupiter's atmosphere, were hitting its magnetic field. And as they accelerated down Jupiter's extraordinarily strong magnetic field lines, they heated up the polar regions. And it all shows here in the infrared. Now, one of the things that I really like about this particular story is it shows just how long it can take scientists to get from, well, getting your data in hand to getting your results published. These are images from January 12, 2017. It is now April 2019, and we're just seeing these results. Science takes time. It takes time to process the images. It takes time to figure out what the expletive it is that you're seeing. It takes time to figure out how to explain it and reference it, submit all of those results for publication, and get the whole thing through peer review. Science isn't something that happens instantly. It isn't something that gets revolutionized in a moment. It's something that is done through committee and with arguments, and, well, it takes time. And this is how we, well, have a fairly good sense that we know what we're doing, and that what we're doing is at least one possible explanation of reality. Now, moving on to a more recent story, there was an astrophotographer who basically got the show of a lifetime. Norway's Andøy Space Center launched a series of missiles the other night to give off various chemicals into the atmosphere. And 112 miles or 180 kilometers away, Michael Thursner was taking pictures of these amazing northern lights. Now, can you imagine you're out there studying the northern lights and you suddenly see what looks like a really weird game of Space Invaders take place in your sky? I'm sure this was one of those moments where there were expletives spoken. Now, we are lucky because he was able to catch all of this on image. And as I said, this was simply a scientific test. What was happening here is scientists working in coordination with NASA that provided the missiles launched a pair of missiles side by side up into the atmosphere that gave off tracer gases that could be seen. By watching how these gases move through the atmosphere, they were able to study the atmosphere in 3 dimensions. And sometimes that's what you want to do for science, and sometimes it's really darn pretty. And I'm sure there were people who were very deeply confused and worried, but not a lot, because there's not a lot of people up there. So we're really actually lucky that Michael Thursner was able to capture these images for us. Now, I don't have science results from this, but I do have pretty pictures. Let's watch this one more time. It really looks like the sky is trying to play Space Invaders. Okay, and here we have one final story for today. And this is a story that has been many years in the making. A number of years ago, I reported that Japan was looking to make a space base of robots for robots, where robots built robots, maintained robots, carried robots across the surface of the moon. It was robots all the way down. Well, 3 years later, we have an update on that story, and it now includes humans. Japan, like many different nations, is working to figure out how to efficiently turn the moon into a stepping stone for learning how to live as human beings on other worlds and as a way to get from our Earth Moon system out to those other worlds. Now, while the original plan had fragile but flexible human shaped robots riding around on more autonomous platforms and maintaining one another, this includes human beings who will be there to help with all of the robot-y goodness. But it is still a primarily robotic mission. And what I love about this idea is it's acknowledged that robots really do have a lot of advantages in space. Nowadays, with the artificial intelligence that's being developed, the same kinds of tech that is hopefully going to allow safe self-driving cars to safely navigate cities, well, self-driving robots are going to be able to scientifically explore other worlds. And humans are still needed, but we're needed because we have thumbs and we can fix things better. And that's about it. So we're going to be there as the construction workers and as the lab animals, trying to figure out just what does living in space do to the human body as we maintain our robot overlords. And I, for one, welcome this technological future. All right, so those are our primary stories for today. It is something of a slow news day because tomorrow is when everything happens, and we will be working to bring it to you right here on CosmoQuest X on twitch.tv. So tomorrow, the first thing we're going to experience, not that they're written in that order on this slide, the first thing we're going to experience at 9 a.m. Boston, 8 a.m. Central, where I am, 6 a.m. Pacific. I'm sorry, people in the Pacific. This was designed to coordinate with the folks who are also involved from Europe, where it will be 2 p.m. in the afternoon, London time. In a multinational, multiple science agency press conference, we are going to see release of the image that was captured by a myriad of radio telescopes on the surface of the Earth and orbiting above. This is the Event Horizon Telescope image of the supermassive black hole that lurks in the center of our own Milky Way galaxy. This image that I'm showing here is just one of a myriad of different artistic representations and scientific models projecting what might possibly be seen. Tomorrow, we get to switch from artists and renderings to instead seeing the real thing. So set your alarms, get up early, make a pot of coffee, because all the science is coming. Now, later in the day, we're going to have a several days delayed Falcon Heavy launch. This was originally slated to launch later this afternoon, but the weather is terrible in Florida today, where they only had roughly a 30% chance of being able to launch, so they just gave up and delayed it to tomorrow. Currently, they're looking at an 80% chance of weather being go for launch out at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Tune in, and I believe that Annie is going to be hosting this for you. The launch window opens at 6:35 p.m. Boston. We don't know where within the several hour long launch window they will be launching, but when we know, we'll let you know. Follow us on Twitter, and of course, all of this gets discussed all the time over on Discord, where we constantly bemoan the constant delay of this launch that we are so very excited to see. This is the first commercial satellite launch using a Falcon Heavy and the second ever launch of this new dramatic vehicle. They're going to be launching communication satellites for Saudi Arabia, and it's just gonna be awesome. So tune in tomorrow for all good things. Now, in addition to that, you may have seen during the opening moments of this episode this advertisement for the 3,650 Days Later 10-hour event that we're going to bring to you on April 27th. During this all-day event, we're going to celebrate 10 years of the 365 Days of Astronomy podcast. We're going to be having on podcasters from the past, talking about the future, and I'll be recording any ads that you guys want to sponsor. This is your chance to make me say anything PG that you want. Read off your family tree, say hello to your next door neighbor. Really, the sky is the limit. For $45, you can completely sponsor an episode of this decades-long running show. So tune in on April 27th for all the science, brought to you live on twitch.tv/CosmoQuestX. And that really sums up what I have to present today, and I will now be taking your questions. While you type those in, remember to @CosmoQuestX so I can more easily find them in the chat. While you type them in, I want to remind you that we are part of CosmoQuest.org, your place to learn and do science. And we are a production of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system. This means that your donations are tax deductible where the law allows. And we are brought to you by you. Your donations are what allow us to keep going. And right now we are running a fundraiser to try and make sure that we're able to pay Annie for all the hours she puts into making sure that you know exactly how many toilets are in space at any given moment, and can follow along with the launches and landings and all the amazing other things that are happening live in our explorations of space. So thank you for all you do to keep our show going. And if you're a subscriber, check out all the new emotes that we have recently launched. Okay, that ends the shilling part of the show. And now I'm going to take a look and see what all we have listed in the chat. I do want to apologize for the technical glitches that affected those of you watching this live on twitch.tv. There is currently a bug. Thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, Trekker Kev. These are the stinkiest dog treats ever. Oh, wow. These are smelly. I need to go buy Cheerios. Hi, Stella. Oh, we just lost all the background. Okay, Wirecast is having difficulties. I will see what I can do to fix that. Ugh. Terrible smelling dog treats. All right, hold on. Let me clear layers and see what I can do to get things working again. Don't know why this happens sometimes. Okay, so we are back. I have a box that is not the same size as the dog cam, but these things happen. Let me see what I can do to fix this in the background. So yeah, there's currently, it appears to be glitches all the way down at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what to say on this. But We're working to figure out what's going on with Wirecast. I know how to circumvent it when it does misbehave. And I'm not sure what to do about the bug over on Twitch. There is an unhosting bug. It actually told me I wasn't streaming. And when I manually unhosted Demon Machine, it said unhosting not available. So hopefully Twitch will be able to get this fixed in their next update. Okay, going back to all of the questions. Let me find that window. Oh, I have a lower voice level. Okay, I'm not sure what to do to fix that. Okay, I will try and figure that one out. So I don't actually know how many degrees that Jupiter's atmosphere heated up. I'm sorry about that. Was the aurora at the end of the sounding rocket launch video related? No, there was actually, thank you for the follow, Waz. So in the aurora video that I showed, the aurora that was going on was just going on because our sun was flinging material at the earth at that moment in time, and it was hitting the earth at that moment in time. The sounding rocket experiments that we saw were being done as part of ongoing research, and it just happened that those two were going on at the same time. It is possible that they were purposefully launching into a massive aurora. I don't know those details. And Larry, I like that you always have questions. Questions are always welcome. I don't think that Japan has launched humans from Japan. I don't believe that Japan currently has human-rated rockets. They have launched on Soyuz before. Let's see. Astro B. London asks, surely the supermassive black hole imagery will only be a computer rendering of radio signal data. Well, so this is where it starts to get into what do you call a real image. When we take an image with a telescope using colors of light that our eyes aren't capable of seeing, it's always going to be a false color image where we say, okay, this color of light beyond human vision, we're going to call it red. This color that is beyond human vision, we're going to call it blue. In this case, with the Event Horizon Telescope, they are taking radio light and the intensity of that radio light and mapping it to colors. And what we're going to see is that mapping of intensity in radio to colors in an image that is something that our human eyes couldn't see, but our telescopes can. So yes, it's false color, but it's not rendered in the sense of a simulation where we're working from the physics instead of working from data. The image we're going to see is coming from data. All right. Will we be able to see any jets coming from the black hole? We don't know. We don't know. So Henny's Warverb asks, is Earth's upper atmosphere heated up at all by our aurora? Yes, but to a much lesser degree. So Trucker Kev, I don't have Cheerios today. I still need to go to the store. So I'm using extremely stinky, I can green screen. I'm using extremely stinky treats from BarkBox. The dogs adore, but oh my God, they smell terrible. Terrible. I need to order more treats that don't smell terrible, or just go buy a box of Cheerios. That's what's going to actually happen. So Adam Altogether writes, are we hyped for a supermassive blackout image or hoping to not be underwhelmed by a blob? I suspect that some people will be massively underwhelmed because it's just going to be a false color image with nothing coming from the black hole itself. And I suspect other people are going to be amazingly excited. Last week, we had the release of a beautiful radio image of Cygnus a nearby active galaxy that has radio jets and a disk of material around its supermassive black hole. That was, if you like radio images, a beautiful image. I think it's going to be a case of it's all in the eye of the beholder. Thank you so much, Svenska Data. Oh, these are so stinky, so very stinky. Ugh. Okay. Stella is actually excited. Go. Eddie, go. Thank you. I'll throw more at them once they find those. Whoa, that was a really bad throw. Eddie's on the other side of the room. So we don't know what we're going to get, and beauty will be in the eye of the beholder. And, okay, throwing more dog treats. So smelly. There we go. There we go. Happy douches. Your mic isn't low. The yeah, I need to work on the animation music. We're probably going to do a new opener. Yeah, I'm going to probably do a new opener. I wanted to do a Daily Space specific opener. So Nebula Cluster asks, which moon, in your opinion, has the best chance for life? I think the best chance is probably Europa, with a quote, close second being Titan. Europa is an icy moon going around Jupiter that has a several kilometer thick layer of ice on its surface, but beneath that is a geothermally heated liquid ocean. And we know that on our own planet Earth, there is amazing life that thrives around geothermal vents at the bottom of our ocean where there is no light. And there's no reason to think that that kind of life couldn't also exist in Europa's deep, dark oceans. So I don't know how we'll ever answer the question of if there's life there. We don't know how to dig that deep with a spacecraft using current technologies. We don't know how to properly sterilize a spacecraft without wrecking its technologies right now. But looking there is the thing that we really want to do. Now, Titan, on the other hand, is a rocky moon with an extremely thick atmosphere that includes methane, and Titan is orbiting the planet Saturn. Titan's atmosphere is so thick and its gravity so low that were any of us to don wings on our arms, we would be able to fly around using our own muscles. It's cold, but if you have a thick enough jacket and an oxygen mask, you can walk around on its surface. And by a thick enough jacket, I really mean like, think snowmobile suit, but closer to an astronaut suit, because the pressure isn't going to get you the way in outer space. If you're exposed to the outer world, the pressure will cause all of your skin to first bruise and then freeze. On Titan, the pressure's high enough that you might bruise, but for other reasons. But it's really cold. And yeah, you don't want that on your skin. But still, it has a thick atmosphere. And the thing about having a thick atmosphere with methane is something that is broken down by the ultraviolet parts of sunlight. So when we have methane in our own Earth's atmosphere, it gets broken down by light over time. And methane in the atmosphere of Mars, the atmosphere of Titan, anywhere you see methane, it has to be getting generated somehow. With Mars, we don't know if it's geothermal or methanogen. And with Titan, we don't know the answer either. So the question is, what are all of the sources of the chemistry on Titan, and is it capable of supporting life? And again, we don't know. Okay. So Paranor is asking, but do the treats smell worse than a stink bug? They smell differently bad. I'm not sure quite how to compare the badness. One is slightly rotten fish, and the other is definitive stink bug. Ugh, definitely need to go get Cheerios. So Larry Weird and Proud is asking, is Enceladus. Wow, I can speak. So Enceladus is third. I vote for that simply because it is so hard to spell. I don't know what comes in third. We're starting to find water in so many different places in our solar system that I think once you get behind Europa and Titan and their large mass and gravity, um, I don't know what comes next. I just don't. Uh, yeah, Trekker Kev. These treats are in line with cat treats with genuine fish smell. Oh God, they're horrible smelling. Horrible smelling. Okay, so I think that is everything for today. We will be back tomorrow, not just with the daily space, but we will be here. Oh my gosh, early. Wow. Sorry about that. I forgot to silence my phone. We will be here. Oh my gosh, early tomorrow in order to bring you more of what's going on live. So, to review, it's Global Astronomy Month. Go check out everything at the Astronomers Without Borders website and come back at 9 a.m. Boston, 8 a.m. St. Louis, 7 a.m. Boulder, 6 a.m. Vancouver time. That is 2 p.m. if you're in London, and the rest of you can do math. Come back as we are here. Thank you, Strawberry Jesus, for the follow. We will be here to bring you live coverage of the great reveal of the Event Horizon Telescope. Come back at 1 p.m. for the Daily Space, which comes to you most Mondays through Fridays. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. London time, same place. We have the Sunday Science Hour with Annie Wilson, my co-host in crime. She is currently working on reducing images that were taken with the Hubble Space Telescope to transform them from filtered black and white images to a beautiful color composite. And as I said, we have all things live. And tomorrow, we also have the launch of a Falcon Heavy. The launch window opens at 6:35 p.m. Boston and continues for several hours. Follow us on Twitter, CosmoQuest X, to get announcements on when exactly we'll be going live, or join us over on Discord. Now, if you don't know if you're going to be able to catch any of this live, that's okay. We archive all our shows on our YouTube channel. Please give us a follow on YouTube. And we, when we ask you to do this, discovered a weirdo problem. We have two different YouTube channels, one tied to our email address and the other tied to our Google Plus page, even though that page no longer exists. It's the one that's tied to Google Plus that has a really stupid looking URL. That's the one you want to subscribe to. You'll know you're in the right place because you see all the videos. So please give us a follow over on YouTube and get notified whenever new archived episodes go live so you can catch things after the fact. Anyways, thanks for being here. We are here because of you, and we are here for you. While we do rely on your donations to pay the bills, we actually rely more on you being here as a human being to really make this worth it. We love your community. We love the conversations that crop up on Discord, and we love the silliness that we share during launch, landing, and other special events while we're waiting for the action to happen. So thank you. Just thank you. Follows are free. And please, if you're new, give us a follow and find out what we're about and become part of our community. Once again, I am Dr. Pamela Gay, and this is a production of CosmoQuest.org, your place to learn and do science. We are a production of the Planetary Science Institute. Thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. I need to fix that zombie. Thank you, Kevin, for the follow on YouTube. We are a production of the Planetary Science Institute working in collaboration with Youngstown State University. We are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system. I am now going to awkwardly figure out how to roll the credits because that's really the only way to roll the credits. And I'm going to find someone to raid. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to find someone from the Knowledge Fellowship. The Knowledge Fellowship is a Discord filled with all sorts of streamers who are all here to, well, get you learning. So join us and learn. Okay, we have... there's someone new. Timber Anew is doing a bedroom door plaque commission. We have EJ. Ooh, he's covering the National Space Symposium. We're going to raid EJ. So give EJ a warm CosmoQuest welcome. Get those emotes ready to go. Thank you, David Swenson, for subscribing over on YouTube. Oh, he's not on. EJ just got off. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, we're not going to raid EJ. That makes me sad. Okay, so let's go with Timber Anew. So Timber Anew is Jesse Skinner. Jesse Skinner is doing JavaScript. I think Timber Anew is cooler because it's woodworking, which I don't know how to do. So I'm going to raid Timber Anew, give them a fabulous CosmoQuest welcome, and light up their chat with spacey goodness. Wherever you are, have a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon, and get outside and look up. Bye-bye.